All right, today we're going to look at midpoint of a line. The midpoint is just the halfway point between a line. So here would be the midpoint between two endpoints. All right, it is equal distance from both of the endpoints, so it's going to be right in the middle. So for finding midpoint on a graph, we're going to look at the first one here. Point A is located at -8, 5, and B is located at -2, 5. We're just going to find where is halfway in between. So you can count. I can zoom in a little bit. You can count that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units apart. So halfway in between would be 3 units. So 1, 2, 3. Our midpoint would be located at -5, +5. Remember, the x values always go first when writing a coordinate plane. All right, CD is located at 9, -1. So we're going to look at 9, -1. And D is located at 9, -10. Determine the midpoint of line CD. So we can count again. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units apart. So halfway of 9 would be 4.5 units. And that's okay to go half. We're going to go right in between. So we'll start from C and we'll go half. 1. I don't know what that did. Oops. We'll try that again. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. All right, so our halfway point is going to be located at 9, -4.5. And decimals are fine, or you can write them as fractions. So -1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me, that is 5.5. We'll try that again. I know the number line's a little confusing, but the numbers are actually like below the line. So, all right, we'll look at the last one. This one is on a diagonal, so it's going to be a little bit different, but not too bad. E is located at -9, 9, and F is located at -5, -1. We're going to determine the midpoint of that. It's really hard for us to count what's halfway in between a diagonal line because you can't count diagonally. So what we can do is we can count how many up total, and if we make like a right triangle. So we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up. So half of 8 would be 4. So we're going to go up 4. Change our colors here a little bit. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we have to count the over. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4 over, which means half of that, we're only going to go over 2. And so we can find our midpoint that way. So that midpoint is going to be located at the x value of -6 and -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. All right, so now I want you guys to try. So point E should be located at -2, 6. And we're going to label that as E. And F is located at 10, 10. And we're going to find the midpoint of this line. So you should have counted up and over. So we would have went up 1, 2, 3, 4. And we would have went over 12, which means we're only going to go up 2 and over 6. So going up 2 and going over 6. All right. So our point should be at 4, 8. All right, and we'll do that again. M should be at -9, -7. And N should be at -7, 5. So that was point M here and point N here. We need to find our halfway distance. So we're going to count up and over. So we're going to be going up and we can count those. That's 7 and then 5 more, so that's going up 12 and over 2. So we're really only going to be going up 6 and over 1. So our midpoint is located at -8, -1. All right, so the second method to finding the midpoint is my personal favorite, and that is when you want to add the x coordinates. So we'll do x, and then we're going to divide that by 2 because we want to find the halfway point. And then we'll do the same thing with the y's. We'll add the 2 y coordinates and we'll divide by 2 to find the halfway point. All right, so going to number 1, we're going to add 2 and -6 because those are our x coordinates. So 2 and -6 creates -4. And then we're going to add our y coordinates. 8 plus 9, 17. And then we're going to divide those by 2 because we want to find the halfway point. -4 divided by 2 is -2. And half of 17, or 17 divided by 2, is going to be 8.5. All right, the next one, we're going to add our x coordinates. We're going to add 3 and 6, which creates 9. We'll do this a little bit slower. And then we're going to add 2/5 and 3/5, which creates 5/5. So that entire total is going to be 10 because 5/5 is 1 whole. Then we're going to add our y coordinates. -4 and -2 is -6. And then we're going to divide both of these by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And -6 divided by 2 is -3. All right. The next one, we're going to combine the x's. So we're going to combine -11 and -9, which creates -20. And then we're going to combine -4 and -2, which is -6. Divide our x's by 2, divide our y's by 2, -10, -3. All right, and our last example, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to add our x's. 9 and 14, that's 23. And then we're going to add our fractions. 1/2 and 1/2 is just 2 over 2, which is still 1 whole, which creates 24. And then we're going to add our y's. -8 and 6, is -2. Divide them both by 2, 12. And -2 divided by 2 is -1. All right, the last example is one that you may see on an EOC, and it's really just finding the midpoint with a visual. Sometimes they give you the picture and sometimes they don't, so it's helpful to always read the question and figure out where everything is going. So Q, get my pen right here. Q is the midpoint of segment PS. So here we have P, we have S, and we have Q right in the middle. Then we have R as the midpoint of, oh, that should say QS. Well, let me fix that. Okay, well, I can't fix it that way. So let's just know that this is QS. Sorry about that, typo. So R is the midpoint of QS. That makes a lot more sense now. And then P is located at 12, 14. So we're going to label that. P is at 12, 14. And S is located at 16, -2. All right, so it's asking us for the coordinates of Q. So we're just going to add our x values. Remember that x is our first in our set of parentheses for our ordered pair. So we're going to add 12 plus 16. So 12 and 16 will give you 28. And then we're going to add 14 and -2, which is going to give you 12. And then we can't forget to divide them by 2 because we want to find the halfway point. So that's going to be 14 and 6. Q is located at 14, 6. All right, bonus question. Where is point R if R is halfway between Q and S? Answer 15.